The headlines tell a story of incredible success. China's factories are humming, its ports busier than ever. Giant container ships depart every hour, carrying everything the world wants to buy. This is the engine of global trade, seemingly unstoppable. From the outside, China looks invincible, like the future. But this is only half the story. Behind the gleaming facade, a different reality unfolds. Look closer, and you'll find fear, not confidence, decline, not growth. Ordinary people are struggling, families losing savings, businesses closing for good. The bright lights of coastal cities cast long, dark shadows. In these shadows, a deep economic crisis is unfolding. Official numbers can't hide it forever. This is a tale of two Chinas, the global manufacturing superstar, and a nation gripped by a silent depression. How can a country be so productive yet feel so poor? The answer: a fundamental breakdown of trust. The social contract, promising prosperity for stability, is fraying. People no longer believe tomorrow will be better than today. This loss of faith is more dangerous than any economic indicator. Ningbo, home to the world's busiest port, is the perfect place to witness this paradox. Cargo throughput breaks records, symbolizing China's might. Yet just miles from the docks, the energy vanishes. You enter a world of empty shops and anxious faces, the other China, struggling to survive. Ningbo is where the illusion of endless growth meets the harsh reality of a collapsing dream. The port of Ningbo is a city in itself, operating around the clock. Towering cranes, constant noise, the sound of money being made. The port is alive, a symbol of China's rise. But step away from the port, and the story changes. In Ningbo's older districts, the sounds of industry fade to an unsettling quiet. Streets that should be bustling are empty. Storefronts display faded for rent signs. Restaurants have more staff than customers. Waiters stare out at silent streets. This is the real economy for most residents, not global trade, but local commerce that's ground to a halt. The contrast is jarring. The port ships goods to the world, but locals aren't spending. Confidence has evaporated. People worry about jobs, home values, and the future. Fear is killing small businesses. The silence on these streets tells a powerful story of disconnect. Export success no longer trickles down. Wealth is captured by large companies and the state, not ordinary people. The bustling port and silent streets are two sides of the same coin. This growth model is becoming hollow. It enriches the state, but leaves its people behind. The visible success hides a landscape of suffering. The port's prosperity is not shared, the city's heart is growing cold. The paradox deepens with every empty shop. For decades, property was the bedrock of Chinese family wealth. It was more than a home. It was the primary savings account for millions. Parents bought apartments for their children. Young couples poured in life savings. Prices only seemed to go up, fueling a historic construction boom. Real estate became a national obsession, a third of the economy. Now that foundation is crumbling. The property bubble has burst. Major developers have defaulted. Housing prices are in free fall. Apartments once worth $1 million now struggle to sell for much less. For families, this is the destruction of their life's work. The dream of security has become a nightmare of negative equity. Confidence is shattered. People feel cheated for trusting the system. An entire generation faces a harsh new reality. Their wealth was an illusion. The financial consequences are immediate. Families in debt, small businesses unable to borrow. The main engine of wealth creation has gone into reverse. This is not a temporary downturn, but a fundamental reset. The promise of property as a one-way bet is broken. Trust in the economic model has been irrevocably damaged. The economic crisis is a daily reality for millions. It's the business owner letting go of loyal employees, the young couple postponing marriage because they can't afford an apartment, the factory worker with stagnant wages as costs rise. Life plans are on hold, dreams deferred, people cling to cash, afraid of the future. This creates a vicious cycle. Less spending means less business, more layoffs, and even less spending. In Ningbo, restaurants offer discounts but remain empty. Malls are quiet. Major life decisions are delayed. The demographic crisis worsens as young people decide they can't afford children. The collapse of the property market has damaged the social fabric. Half-finished buildings scar the landscape, monuments to broken promises. For families who paid up front, their money is gone, and their homes will never be completed. The human cost is written in concrete and steel. The crisis is not just financial, but deeply personal. Every empty building tells a story of loss. The Chinese government sees the crisis and has tried its standard toolkit. The central bank has cut interest rates, hoping to spur borrowing and spending. Stimulus packages and subsidies have been announced, but the old remedies aren't working. People aren't interested in borrowing. Even at lower rates, they're focused on paying down debt. Businesses see weak demand and have no reason to expand. Stimulus money flows to large state enterprises, not small businesses. The core problem isn't a lack of credit, it's a lack of confidence. No cheap loan can convince a family to buy a new apartment after seeing neighbors lose half their wealth. The government's tools address mechanical problems, but this is psychological. Beijing keeps building infrastructure, but people aren't spending. The government is pushing on a string. It can't force people to take on debt or feel secure. Until trust is restored and money reaches ordinary citizens, fixes will fail. The toolkit is empty for repairing broken trust. The crisis is deeper than policy. It's about faith in the future. China's export machine keeps breaking records, even as the domestic economy struggles. The secret automation. Factories have replaced millions of workers with robots, operating around the clock. This makes goods cheaper and boosts productivity. Profits soar for factory owners and the state. But this is jobless growth. In the past, export booms meant more jobs and higher wages. Now, automated factories employ far fewer people. Profits are concentrated at the top. Wealth doesn't trickle down. The cycle continues. More automation, fewer jobs. The divide grows, an efficient export sector, but a population left behind. Stagnant wages and lack of opportunity fuel the crisis of confidence. People see the country getting richer, but feel themselves getting poorer. Export success is no longer a solution, it's part of the problem. The domestic economy is hollowed out, inequality grows, the benefits of growth are out of reach for most. The most dangerous part of China's crisis isn't in the data, it's the silent erosion of confidence. Trust is the invisible glue holding the economy together. In China, that trust is collapsing. The property crash, stagnant wages and insecurity are wearing it away. When people lose faith, they stop spending, hoard cash, and delay life decisions. This cautious behavior, multiplied by millions, creates the slowdown they fear. The government can't command confidence. Trust, once lost, is hard to regain. The social contract, prosperity in exchange for stability, is breaking. The property crisis and jobless growth have shown the system's promises are empty. This breeds anxiety and discontent. The entrepreneurial spirit is fading. Young people seek security, not risk. This shift signals long-term stagnation. The real crisis is psychological. Optimism is dying. The country's dynamism is slipping away. China appears to be winning the global trade war. Factories outproducing everyone, exports flooding the world. Overproduction and automation let China dominate global markets. On paper, it's a strategic victory, but the victory is hollow. The focus on exports has starved the domestic economy. Corporate profits are prioritized over workers' wages. The result, world-class production, but a weak, fearful consumer base. The model is unsustainable. The world is pushing back with tariffs. If export growth slows, China has nothing to fall back on. Domestic prosperity has been sacrificed for global dominance. People pay the price. Destroyed wealth, job insecurity, stagnant wages. The state's success means little to families struggling to pay bills. The disconnect is the central tragedy. Prosperity is now a spectator sport. The people are left behind. As the world looks at China, it sees stark contrasts: record exports, shuttered businesses, gleaming towers, abandoned sites. The government projects control, but the population is losing faith. The true crisis is not economics, but confidence. The trust between people and state is damaged. This can't be fixed with interest rate cuts or infrastructure. It requires a new social contract, one that puts people first. Without restored confidence, China risks the middle-income trap. A sophisticated economy, but insecure, anxious people. Growth becomes a hollow victory, disconnected from real lives. The social and political consequences could be severe. The world should watch not just China's numbers, but its mood. The fate of the global economy and the Chinese people is at stake. Ningbo's story is a warning. A model that enriches the state but not its people is doomed to fail. The dragon's fire may burn for the world, but at home, a chilling frost is setting in.